King of the Mischievous South Volume 2 by Denzel Curry is here, and we are going to give it a review from A to F, first by listening to every track and reviewing them from A to F. We got 15 songs, 34 minutes of playtime. This includes interludes, of course, which it looks like we do have a couple on here, 3 or 4. So we'll listen to those, won't give them a ranking, but we'll probably comment on how they fit into the album as a whole. First up, KOTMS 2 intro. Let's go. Alright, so I just ran through the KOTMS 2 intro and it kind of flowed really nicely into Ultra Stitch, so I just ran it. Pretty good though. I did quite enjoy that. In terms of ranking, honestly, there's nothing that I could see that was wrong with that. The production was pretty hard hitting, but the lyrics and like the vocal delivery was also like a little more toned down, which kind of like made the production stand out a lot more to me, which I liked because the production was great. Lots of depth to it. Didn't feel bored. I thought the feature was, who was it? Kenyatta. Never heard of them, but phenomenal. I didn't think there was anything wrong with it. Yeah, I think straight an A for that right off the hop. Not much more to say. Second song we got is Set It. Another feature here, we got Maxo Cream. 2 minutes and 40 seconds. So let's get into that. Alright, that was Set It. Another nothing to complain about song. I mean, everything in there was just fire. Lyrics were great about being rich, getting rich, staying rich. Maxo Cream had a great verse too. He came in on the back, followed him nicely with what Denzel had to bring. Production was a little less interesting than Ultra shit, I would say, but still kept me intrigued the whole time. And I'm feeling another A, honestly. Yeah. Alright, next song we got Hot One. This did release as a single, so I have heard this song. Right off the hop, I can already kind of give an idea of where I'm going to place it. It's A, but we'll give it another listen again anyway. So let's run Hot One. Alright, Hot One. Yeah, pretty much liked it just as much as I did the first time I've listened to it, and every time after that. I think it's great. Catchy chorus, catchy verses from each of the artists on here. Denzel has a great one to start off. Tia Kareen brings a lot of energy in the middle to kind of keep you intrigued, keep you engaged. I really like her vocal delivery. It's kind of unique and just entertaining, I find. And then A$AP Ferg has a short but sweet ending verse to just kind of tie everything together. Nothing more to say. It's an A. Production's pretty hard-hitting, pretty exciting, and just a fun track all around, honestly. So, yeah. Easy A tier for Hot One. The next song up here, Black Flag Freestyle featuring That Mexican OT. This song also released as a single, so I have heard this. I don't remember liking it as much as Hot One, but I still remember it being a banger. Like, it seems like every song on this album release or mixtape, whatever you want to call it, kind of is all just hard-hitting bangers. But Black Flag Freestyle, That Mexican OT, let's get after it. Alright, that was Black Flag Freestyle featuring That Mexican OT. I mean, where else could it be, I think? It's not B. It's I mean, I don't think it's the most lyrically profound Denzel Curry song of all time. I think there is some hilarious bars. One that stood out to me that I just reading through it never noticed on my first couple listens. Your hoes take a cock or two, so that bitch a bird. I mean, come on, that's hilarious. But it's not like we're getting melt my eyes, see your future Denzel, and I think that's kind of the point of this album, is stepping away from that a bit. I think he even kind of says that in here. Yeah, I used to smart talk, but now I had to dumb it down. Kind of saying like, hey, I'm just releasing bangers and I don't have to be personal all the time, and I can still be sick and phenomenal and exciting and intriguing. I mean, there's so many adjectives I can say about this album so far, but I'm going to stop glazing and move on to the next song. We got HEADCRACK Interlude, so it's an interlude. I'll play through it just to see how it connects, and then we'll move on to G's Up. That's with 2 Chainz and Mike Dimes. Okay, so Mike Dimes is relatively newer to the scene. I think he kind of blew up on TikTok with a couple singles that he had. What were they even? No Trends, that was huge. Home, Backroom. Yeah, a lot of these blew up on TikTok, and then he threw it in his first album. Yeah, Home, Backroom, No Trends. I recognize those 3. So yeah, let's get into this interlude and then G's Up. Alright, so HEADCRACK Interlude into G's Up. Not my favorite so far, I will say. I think it's B for me. I didn't think it was as entertaining as the previous songs. The Mike Dimes, 2 Chainz features are okay. Kind of short, so kind of unmemorable. But the chorus is catchy, although slightly repetitive and annoying, obviously. At least to me. But it was pretty good. I think it's B. I don't think it was bad. I didn't hate it. But it might be on the bottom end of a playlist if I were to add it. Where A is like, yeah, you're in the playlist. And I'm probably playing you in the car at full volume. Maybe half volume. I'm rambling. And we got another interlude next, which is a LUNATIC interlude. This one has a lot of streams on it, and I think it's because it's a banger, and it also ties in nicely with the next song, which is SKED with Kenny Mason, and I think it released previously with just Kenny Mason, and now this version on the album has Project Pat on it too, who comes in at the tail end, I believe. If it, I wouldn't expect them to put him in the middle when it just released with Kenny Mason before, but we'll see. LUNATIC interlude, and then into SKED. Let's go. Alright, so that was SKED with the transition LUNATIC interlude. The LUNATIC interlude flows really nicely into SKED. Sounds sick. They throw a little 808, the same 808s that are kind of, I think they're 808s. Could be wrong. Same 808s, I'm just going to call them that anyway, that are in SKED throughout the entire track. Like the boo, boo, doo, 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 doo. Super sick. I like how it flows into SKED. SKED. Sounds like, I don't know, I don't know what I'm trying to say here, but it's pretty good. I honestly like the version with just Kenny Mason a little more than the version that includes Project Pat. Project Pat, not that his performance was bad, I just like the short and sweet style of the original. I think if this came out without Project Pat, or if it didn't come out without Project Pat, it probably would be A, and because then I wouldn't even know the difference between what it sounded like before he came into it. But I just think I prefer the short and sweet version where it was just Denzel and Kenny. So yeah, that's kind of my thoughts. We have another interlude that flows into Cole Pimp with Ty Dolla $ign and Juicy J, of all people. Haven't seen him in a track for a while. But yeah, we'll just run those two back to back and give our thoughts. So let's go. Alright, that was Cole Pimp with Ty Dolla $ign and Juicy J. Honestly, not my favorite. I'm stuck between B and C right now. It's definitely not A for me. It's also not really on the vibe that the rest of the album kind of is. Like, all these other songs are kind of hard-hitting bangers, and this kind of like slows it down real fast. So more than ever, I think the interlude, Choose Wisely, was necessary just to, like, if we flew straight from SKED to this, it wouldn't even really make sense or have a lot of flow with that. But yeah, I mean, the Ty Dolla $ign feature was all right, but not anything crazy special. Juicy J, unmemorable. Yeah, I'm feeling C on this. I don't think I would ever seek this out again. Not really my type, especially after what we've heard from the top half of this album. Meh. So that's how I'm feeling. Next up, we got Wishlist with Armani White, so let's just jump right into it. Alright, Wishlist, Armani White feature. Again, kind of stuck between B and C. This was definitely more harder hitting than Cole Pimp, which I feel fit the theme of this album better. There was some absolutely comedic lines in this, like this one here. They call her Princess Peach, she down in every pipe. That's crazy. But some that were maybe a little cringe, maybe a little stretching a bit. Armani White had a pretty good feature though. It was entertaining. I like when he said, "I'm in Miami, so them bitches fans of Denzel." How can you not be though? Am I right? Like, oh man, this is tough. I'm thinking B, but I'm also thinking it's either on the low end of B or high end of C. It's like kind of damn smack in the middle. So I'm gonna leave it in B for now. I think it's better than Cole Pimp, so if anything, it would be here. But we'll just leave it in B for now and continue on. I'm rambling, so let's see. We got Hit the Flow with Ski Mask the Slump God. Let's get into it. And we're back right where we left off before Cole Pimp came into the feature? What the fuck? Came into the picture with another banger. I mean, this is heavy hitting. I love the toned down vocals in the chorus, where Denzel's saying, "Yeah, what's up? What's happening, dog? What's going on?" It just sounds like super underground and dark, and I like that. It kind of sets the tone of the song, and honestly, like the rest of the album too. I think it fits nicely. Ski Mask felt like he had a longer verse than some of the other features on here, which I liked, and I thought it flowed really nice and was good. He fits the production as well. I think that's kind of his style, at least his heavy hitting stuff or his most popular stuff is kind of along the same alley, so I think he fits in very nicely. So definitely feeling a nice A on this guy. Hit the floor, okay? Makes sense. Next song, we got HOODLUMZ with Play That Boy Zay and ASAP. Our boy ASAP Rocky coming in on the tail end of this. Looks like this is relatively popular. We got 4.86 million streams, so shorter end too. Let's go. All right, that was HOODLUMZ. Again, heavy hitting, fits the flow of the album, super exciting, features fit nicely. Nothing more to say. It's just a banger. Production's awesome. Gets you amped for whatever you need to do. Whenever you need to be amped, really, just throw this thing on and you'll fucking fist pump and shit. So, fist pump and shit. Jesus, what are we doing? Okay, whatever. But yeah, that was King of the Mischievous South Volume 2. This was a phenomenal album mixtape from Denzel. Definitely top tier for me, with all these tracks in the A category. What would I give this? In total, this is probably an A-, which is, I mean, maybe even an A. It's really good. I enjoyed it a lot. And I also found out KOTMS. I'm literally so stupid that I just realized this, but King of the Mischievous South, that's what that stands for. Also went back and listened to the intro right after the outro, and you can kind of hear, the sound of like a tape starting in the intro and then finishing in the outro and switching back and forth through different channels. One can only assume trying to restart this thing because it's incredible, and I would listen to it again and again and again. So yeah, that's my review. 8F albums, Denzel Curry's King of the Mischievous South Volume 2, A-.